It's nothing. If we look at the New York Open, we have a clean New York Open low and sell side. We understand we have a clean draw lower. We understand we had a bearish bias, but we didn't form the model. Okay, so there was no position for us to take there. I try not to be an impulsive motherfucker ever again. Absolutely, brother. I mean, I will tell you one thing. Being impulsive like that is only going to set you back to square one. And you're going to go from your goals to being a loser in a split second. And I just say it how it is. And not being impulsive for what I once was, okay? I'm no different. I'm the same. I started the same journey that you guys started as well. Okay. And I was the impulsive motherfucker at the start. And then it came to a point where I wasn't making any progress month after month. And that was that 4-month period after my first payout. I was that impulsive motherfucker. So, not being that and actually staying disciplined, following the model, and proving to yourself with the model from backtesting year after year after year, then you're going to sit there. And you know 2026 is going to produce the same. Done. You have the capital behind you. You've used the methods that we discussed in our business meeting yesterday. How many funded accounts do you have? I don't know. I've got enough. And you pass in 2 days. You're running capital behind you. You know the model. You're watching the live streams. You're getting educated. And you're making a shit ton of money at the same time. There's nothing better. I guide you guys through the model, one of one, step by step, unlike any other Discord you will see on this planet. I'm not even being egotistical, I'm being... what do you call it? Well, we're just the best in the space. I mean, we can basically say what we want at this point. But yeah, how many funded accounts do I have? Well, I can't actually say. I'm recording for YouTube. But yeah, we have max allocation under my name. And I'm actually currently testing some new prop firms as well. So let me fill you guys in. Oh, by the way, we are still in that Bitcoin short. And obviously Bitcoin's gone relatively slow. Currently up around 77k on that. What are we looking at here? So I have a list of prop firms. Give me a second. Let me just type this in on my notes. Here we go. So I'm currently testing Lucid, Funded Next Futures, The Trading Pit, Minded Next, Tradeify, Trading Ticks, Funding Ticks, and Blue Nox. I'm currently testing those 7 prop firms as of now, and I'm doing it kind of 2 by 2 at a time. And as soon as they pay me out and I see that confirmation, I will tell you guys they are okay, only to what I've been paid out anyway. But there's nothing stopping you from testing them as well. I mean, I'm essentially the bait as of now, and I'm testing them for you guys. And then once I get paid out, then cool. We can say they're good. I already know people who have been paid out with a couple of those firms. So all is good. Alright, it's gone past 10 AM. I just want to look at the bias here, because if we get a shift higher in market structure, we might be interested in taking a long. Let's start with the 5. I might restart after this macro if we don't take a position. The 5 is bullish. Restart the laptop because of the delay, or restart trading view anyway. So you can see the 15. It was bearish and it still is. Okay, same intraday bias, it's not changed. We can look at the hourly time frame now. I've been paid from Blue Nox. Well, that's great. Jack's confirmed it. He is the confirmation. Okay, so the hourly is still bearish, and we are going to be bearish on the hourly. That's not changed. Simple Simple stuff. We can look at the 4-hour time frame. So we've got a bullish result as of now. Let's see. Has it changed? No. No, it has not changed. And neither's the daily. So it's the same bias. We are bullish. Here we go. So we have a sweep of sell stops of the short-term low. That is actually a sufficient sweep. As a preference, I would like to see the New York Open get taken and sell side and then look for longs. But for longs from this standpoint is also still perfectly fine. Absolutely. And likely price is still going to seek this low anyway. And the reason being, and why I say that, is because that was a medium impact, which can be classed as a data low. So it's not actually an official up-close candle. But it's in disregard because we're not taking any positions anyway. When will we be implementing the London and the PM session? Once I've completed the backtesting session, third time round of 2025, it's going to be completed by mid-January. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm currently working flat out, and at the same time just, you know, passing more accounts and just taking it to a whole nother level. I seen one person the other day state that he doesn't trade on all of his accounts and put them on a trade copier like TradeSyncer because he's worried of bugs and his account's getting blown accidentally. He doesn't want to risk all of his capital, and he trades, say, 5 accounts here and then leaves the other 15. I mean, he's nowhere near the same capital as what we got over these sides, but it doesn't make any sense. If you got capital, you're trading all of it on every single trade. Jex has a question. Absolutely, brother. I was about to light up a cigar here. Let's turn that AC down a little bit. Cigar with Red Bull. I actually don't drink Red Bull anymore. I banned myself about 6 months ago. I just got heart palpitations, and also it's not good for your energy levels. It's not very stable. I don't drink pre-workouts at all. The only sort of caffeine that my body would receive is like an English tea, to be honest, and sometimes an Americano. But even the Americano, I do dilute it with milk and sugar. It's not like a black Americano, because I've had a few in the past, especially when I was working construction like 3 years ago, but it's not my preference for a black Americano, to be honest. How did backtesting April go? So when I submitted my, you can see data lows got swept there. When I submitted my payout in 2025 in April, it was at the start of April, and it was mostly from March P&L, which was I got around a 10-hour month in March, and April was actually just below break even on the month. I'm yet to calculate it, but I remember it wasn't actually a month to close in profit. But I'm sure all of you guys are also conducting your own back testing as well at the same time, which is absolutely great. Did you tried Steads? What is that, brother? What is that? ES took New York Open low. Okay. That would be an SMT on NQ. Whether that's going to hold or not, I'd say likely not. But we are actively looking for longs for the next 5 to 6 minutes. EZP1PZ said steroids, bro. Well, that is an interesting question. Have you? Oh my god, brother. You've taken it to the next level. I'm on 200 milligrams of Tren, 50 milligrams of Anavar, and 500 mg test. Oh wow. You really are on something. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I've heard that Tren does bind with different receptors in your brain that you don't want it to bind with. Both the sad, happy, and all the emotions going all over the place. That's what I've heard anyway. Yeah, I've taken MK677. I came off it. I mean, MK677's nothing. Bro said, why are you taking Tren at 48 kg? That is a valid question. It doesn't sound, unless you are a dwarf, that you hit your natural limits, or even close. I mean, 48 kg, even if you was 5 foot. I think I know people heavier at 5 foot. I don't know anyone at 5 foot, matter of fact, but I worked out naturally for 5 years. Well, it sounds perfect, really. To be honest, I think, of what I've seen anyway, from watching videos, is that the compound Tren itself is a pointless compound, and it's only for competing. That's what I've seen anyway. I think it's very toxic for your body, and it leads you to no benefits, really, apart from extreme muscle mass, which is also extremely diminishing once you stop taking it. It's pretty pointless, really, unless you're going for it to be your actual sport. What about peptides? I don't take any peptides, to be honest. I see there's like a massive trend about taking peptides at the moment. A lot of gay people in Miami who care so much about their face. I don't know what it is with it at the moment on social media. I don't give a flying rat. I'm getting more accounts, more knowledge, and more money. But there's people injecting different peptides now, and they are beneficial, don't get me wrong. BP157, if you've got injuries, and TB500 and whatnot. That's the most common ones anyway. But yeah, I mean, IGF, growth hormone also does grow every single organ in your body, and cancer. But as we spoke about cancer before, we can cure it. Well, I'm 95% sure, from what I've personally seen with my granddad's results. He's cured 100 terminal 4 patients, so it's pretty insane, without all of that chemo shit. What's it from? Well, we spoke about this, I think, probably 2 streams ago. It's just as simple as taking baking soda, mixing it with molasses. It's a very high alkaline environment for your body to withstand. And having no carbs. No carbs at all. No carbs. Zero. Zero carbs. Zero. And you only eat meat diet. So you only eat steaks. Preferably stick to white meat. So you want to just have chicken and turkey. And tuna. Fish. And that's it. That's all you eat. Eggs. A lot of eggs. That's it. You don't have no pasta, no bread. None of that stuff. And it's gone. It's gone. That's all he did. That's all he did to all of these patients. If you want to add something else as well, just squeeze like 2 or 3 lemons in 1 cup and just have one of those per day as well. That's it. At that point, it would be overkill. It's gone in 30 days. 30 days. Does anyone exercise at home? It depends how big your house is. I mean, if you're living like Drake in a fat yard and you've got a gym in there as well, I don't see why you wouldn't train in your own gym. I do have a gym in the same building that I stay in, but I don't use it. I like to get out on the bike, hit a few wheelies, piss off a few pedestrians and NPCs, and then get into the gym and hit a beautiful session, and then ride off with a pump. What are the consequences of taking test? I think the consequences is that you're going to be a higher echelon of man. You're also going to be wanting women more. You're also going to not sit around and get things done. There is no benefits. In fact, the health organization of the US actually took the black label off TRT. I don't know if you guys seen that. Anthony Joshua got into a car crash, 2 men dead. That's mad. When did that happen? Is that recent? No way, he's gonna go jail. If he was driving anyway, potentially. Wait, 1 sec. We're looking at outside of macro, so we're waiting for the second AM macro. That is an interesting model there. Sweep of New York, open low, shift in structure. So we're waiting for the second AM macro, 10:45 obviously. Okay. Price is still likely going to seek sell side anyway on either asset. We'd wait for the next macro. One of the guys I played football with passed away in that car crash. Wait, where is this? 1 to 2 hours ago. No way. Obviously, he made a lot of money. That's mad. Anthony Joshua injured in Nigeria car crash with 2 others dead. That is mad. I mean, 2 others dead. That's mad. That's mad that he survived. But I don't know if he's going to box again. I think that's probably him over. Why is he in Nigeria? Well, maybe he's probably from Nigeria by the looks of it, but he's probably visiting family, wasn't he? I know he's born and raised in... I'm pretty sure he's from South London, but maybe he's got family there. That's mad. Nigeria is pretty dangerous for what I hear anyway. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, Dan said he's from Watford. That's mad. It looks like he crashed in some sort of desert. Lagos. How do you say it? Lagos. He suffered minor injuries. So I guess he was wearing a belt probably and his friends wasn't. That's mad. That car is mad. Like, not mad, it's proper bad. Like, the door's ripped off. Do you trade Forex or just Nasdaq? Only the Nasdaq. And we monitor ES for confluences such as an SMT. And our bias can also flip from a bias to neutral from ES taking objectives such as a high or low. Or unfilled imbalances as well. We look obviously for a gap on both assets, breakers and mitigation blocks. What do you think about Forex? I think it's not beneficial because you can get more capital under futures and there's also no commissions. Well, there's commissions, but there's no essential slippage with getting orders in. It's very clean price action and it's also US based, so the macros work absolutely like a dime. I was right. Has family roots in Sagamu, a town in Nigeria. So probably he was taking the money, which I actually felt bad for him, as he's from the UK. He got taxed 50% or 40% anyway of the 90 million, so he only received 40. He was meant to get 90. This is quite a big difference, you know, when we say only, but compared to what Jake Paul got, which was like a straight 98 million. And then he's probably giving some to the family, probably gave away like 20 million, and then his two friends died. Travelling over the speed limit and crashing while overtaking. Collided with a stationary truck. I mean, that's probably like the worst thing you could crash into. I've seen a lot of crashes in Texas. When I was in Texas, I've seen a lot of big semi-trucks just colliding with everything. I think the worst drivers in the US, apart from Miami, is definitely followed up first place Texas. I think Texas has the worst drivers in the US. And then I would say Miami is got the second worst drivers. And then, what else? I think New York drivers, I think they're pretty good. I don't know, I've not really... Or maybe New York's pretty bad, yeah. I don't know. You got to think, majority of people can't drive anyway. Oh, we actually got a video of Anthony Joshua getting out of the car.
Breaking news to bring you related to our top story.
Alright, go on, get on with it.
Media reports
Oh shit.
which are telling us that Anthony Joshua has been involved in a serious car accident near Lagos on the motorway there. We understand that 2 passengers from the car...
He looks calm, but he looks like he's in quite a lot of pain actually.
He has been taken to hospital, but it's thought that his injuries are not life-threatening. There is now an update from state police, which reads...
Yeah, I think he's probably got like a broken rib from the seatbelt. I gotta see that again. Is he getting out the back of the car? Yeah, he is. That's why he survived.
Joshua has been involved in a...
He only survived because he was in the back of the car. The front of the car, the engine probably came through. That happens to a lot of van drivers as well. People who drive vans, like Ford Transits. The engine for the Ford Transit, if you crash front on, engine comes through the bay, takes your legs out. That's mad. God's got a plan for everyone, though. You know what I mean? Maybe there was a reason why he was in the back of the car, not the front. Milo, only New York AM session? As of now, yes, but once we get to mid-January and I've completed the backtesting for London and the PM session, we're going to implement that as well. So for those of you that are in the US, it's going to be pretty difficult to monitor London. You don't have to be here to monitor London with us. If you want to make more money, then of course. But you're still going to be completely fine monitoring both New York and PM, or just New York alone. New York alone will bring you to a payout. If you trade all sessions and you're able to do that, then of course you're going to make even more. London session and NASDAQ too. Everything we monitor on the NASDAQ. Jose said, how old are you? To mines. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if the age of 21 is still young anymore. I was thinking that to myself the other day. I don't know if I'm still classed as young or I'm like getting into the 20s, you know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. It's pretty mad. Obviously, when I first started trading ICT, I was 18. So I was like, I didn't ever really speak about the age at all because I had a lot of knowledge at 18, 19, especially at 19. I'd already fully understood the model to the T. So I didn't speak about my age because people put age of knowledge. Yeah, I think, yeah, we're getting old, guys. Getting old. It's all over. 21. Well, we actually turn 22 next year, obviously, in July. Still got 7 months, or 8 months. 22 is a pretty mad number. I think once you get past 25, that's dangerous. That's dangerous, that is. Joe, you're 007. We got James Bond. He's double my age, so he's 42. My dad's 44. But it doesn't matter what age you're currently at, whether you're younger or older. Everyone starts their journey at different points. You have to understand that. Everyone does start their journey at different points. I've seen people from 30 years old have the biggest generational run that they've ever seen in their whole life, and through their 20s they got nothing. And even from their 60s, they've started businesses from their 60s and then seen exponential growth. I'm 19, 20 in July. Yeah, trust me, brother. When you turn 20, you know, it's pretty mad. Skumar, 55 today. Happy birthday, brother. Come on. 55's a pretty mad number. He's monitoring price on his birthday. He's not playing around. Obviously, we're waiting for this second day of macro. I changed the profile picture, by the way, guys, on the Discord, not because I didn't like the last profile picture. I actually quite liked the photo of smoking a cigar. But the reason why I changed it is because there's people trying to impersonate my Discord, so I changed it to a different profile picture. I know they're obviously going to change it to what it is now, but I seen there was someone trying to add many of you guys as a friend and text you and things like that. You have to bear in mind, I didn't answer the phone to my mum, my own mum, right? 2 times when we're monitoring price. So bear this in mind. I'm not going to ever text you first, and I don't want or ever will ask for any sort of questions, let alone money. Okay? So yeah, don't accept friend requests from people unless you've heard my own voice on like a FaceTime call, you know. But yeah, just be careful, guys. Milo, can you reply on Telegram? What is it? Question about visa. What visa? Where are you planning on going, brother? Thailand? Where are you from? I assume you're from the UK. I'm pretty sure, if I remember. We have a long history, don't we, brother? I think UK. If my memory's for good, I don't know. But don't worry about the visa. I can get you a visa. It's not a problem. I'll get you a visa. I can tell you straight through the live stream where to go. I'm going from February till May at least. Training camp, Netherlands. Okay, so you're from Netherlands. That's fine. So basically all you want to do is wherever you're choosing to stay in Thailand. I don't know where you're planning on going, but what I would say is just go on ChatGPT. I'm just going to see where he is saying he's going. I mean, the 3 best spots to go in Thailand, in my opinion, from what I've personally been myself, is either Bangkok, Phuket, or Pattaya. And you're going to Phuket. Lovely. I've not actually been to Phuket, but I have a good friend who is there, and he also is, you know, you guys know KDS Trades. He got banned on Instagram, but he's also there. And in Phuket area, especially, just go on ChatGPT and type in, you need this visa, brother. So you only need this. You need the DTV digital nomad visa, 5 years. So if you go on ChatGPT, okay, and ask ChatGPT, say, find me a visa office which will give me a visa, which will give me this visa, the DTV Digital Nomad 5-year visa. When you arrive in Phuket, automatically you're going to get 2 months as a free arrival visa. Well, you do from the UK anyway. So I'm pretty sure from the Netherlands you get that as well. You'd have to check. And then you can go to the visa office and pay for an extension for 1 month. So you get 3 months up front as soon as you arrive in Thailand. Most citizens, US, UK, and I don't know, I think the Netherlands should as well. And then you go to the visa office and you start your process, right? You're going to have to then fly out of Thailand because you can only do the visa when you're out. So you'd either go, they suggest these different places. Now, I personally wouldn't go to Vietnam. I think it's a shithole. But they suggest Vietnam, the Philippines, and they say that's like the fastest places. So I suggest you go to the Philippines. It's probably nicer than Vietnam. And whilst you're in the Philippines, it takes about 5 to 7 days, and they just process, and you fill out an application. You basically just show them that you've got more than 10k USD. I mean, who the fuck doesn't have more than 10k USD in their bank? And you upload that screenshot of, say, you know, your bank statement. What else did you have to provide? I think it's just that. I think, yeah, you just show that you have more than 10k USD in your bank. Trying to think. Oh, and also, what do you do for work? So you would just provide screenshots of you getting funded and whatnot. ChatGPT will tell you what to put in there, so it passes you through. But yeah, you'll get that pretty easily. It should cost you around, don't pay too much. You should pay around, in pounds, GBP, you shouldn't really pay more than around 800 or £1,000, really. That would be like a good normal price. It used to be like £200, but now they're kind of hot. Now it's a bit more sought after, so they've upped their prices, but yeah. Relo Thai Visa Service. Yeah, just check their reviews. I haven't heard of that one. There's loads of them, by the way. There's a lot of visa services. Just check their reviews thoroughly. You know, Trustpilot, different sites. They should have a walk-in shop. So find one that has a walk-in shop in Phuket. You should just walk straight in. But yeah, that's what you would do. As far as buying an apartment here, you can't actually buy a place. You know, it's not possible. You do have to be Thai. So you can't. But you can also rent. I personally rent an apartment for a year. And I just sent them the whole year up front because it was the same price as Miami per month. 1 month in Miami, rent, is the same as 1 year here. Unbelievable, right? So I just said, brother, I said, look, here's the year. Don't text me. And I'm staying in the best place in Pattaya. There isn't actually a better condo. There isn't a better one. I'm currently like 3 months, 4 months in straight being in Pattaya. I obviously went to Dubai for like 3 days, but whilst I was in Dubai, I couldn't wait to come back here. I hated Dubai. I spent about 10k, 13k USD in 3 days. Shit. Jumped out of a plane. Okay, wow. Went on an R1. That was the only fun thing I did. But then I got 13 tickets, which were like $500 each. You know. There we go. We got John C. at it again. Look at this. John C's up 1,500. John C, are you banging the method there, brother? Is that the method? I think John C does know about the method. He's already done the method twice today. It's too good. Ash said there's no method, it doesn't work. Yeah, Ash is right, it doesn't work. John C can confirm that. Now you can't drop Indian flags on Ash. That's actually like slightly racist, you know. Yeah, that's my brother right there. Just taking it slow with 1 micro per trade until I regain my confidence with myself. Okay, and exactly what trade have you taken on your funded account today? No wonder why you've lost confidence, brother. You're not even trading the model. You're essentially digging a hole and you don't even know what you're digging for. And the good thing with this Discord is that the members inside of this group are very much going to let you know when you're making a mistake just by the emojis. Yeah, that's the official SRT. That's the 2026 release. So now we are curious, B Hanger, we're curious to why you took a trade. We are curious why you would take a position which isn't valid. Method works, brother. Here we go. Well, don't you look at that. Lovely stuff. 2.7 million in capital. Kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Okay, so we're looking at the second AM macro. The daily bias is still bullish. We know that. Let's have a look at the 4-hour bias, which is still bullish. So we know that as well. The 1-hour bias is still bearish. Nothing's changed on the higher time frame. The 15-minute bias, it was bearish, and we never took the draw. But did we trade into a bullish imbalance? Absolutely. I just want to see if it's been previously respected, which it has. Okay. So our bias on the 15 is bullish towards this bearish gap or high, which the bearish gap obviously comes first. So it's a stronger bullish bias. Let's put this in capitals. The 5-minute bias is bearish towards the bullish gap. Okay. Nice bullish bias. Lower time frame. Price is taken buy side. So right now we have a difference. Okay. I'm going to remove London highs and change it to buy side. So right now we have a sweep of buy side with a bullish bias. That's not what pairs. We don't actually like to see that. Okay, we're interested in the relative equal lows as well as buy side. So we have a bullish bias, sweep of buy side. We want to see a sweep of sell side, of course. We will continue to monitor price. Let me just take this call, guys. It is the mum. There is something going on at the moment. Bit of business. 1 second. Alright, lovely stuff. I seen the message from Jex. I was just about to reply to it, but we was inside of macro. You said you've passed. Lovely. So you guys should be able to hear me now. Okay, so looking at this inside of macro, As far as a bullish bias and forming a model for longs, right, there is no shift on ES, and also there's no sweep of sell side. The most recent sweep of liquidity that currently stands is buy side. We swept buy stops, above all of these highs is buy stops. Okay, price trades lower, does not take out any sell stops. Even a preference to just this low, we didn't see that. This is not valid. How is the 4 hour bullish? We trade out of a 4 hour bullish gap to the left. You can see that we've wicked down on the 4 hour into the bullish gap previously. You should be able to see that there. Have you seen the rapid plan, my funded futures dashboard? It's been around for quite a while. I've definitely seen it. Can we check the 15 again? Okay, potentially we've gone bearish. No, yeah, still bullish. So the reason why the 15 is bullish, the 15 did not close below the gap to the left and would be bearish to the low. Correct, bearish out of the gap towards the low. And we traded towards the low, but we're bearish not towards the low, but also a bullish gap. And we've identified a bullish gap to the left, which is this one. That price traded down into this bullish gap, which formed a 15-minute bullish bias towards the next bearish gap or high, which the bearish gap comes first. Does that answer your question, Lewis? What do you think about that perspective? Yeah. So sometimes intraday bias 5 to 15 minutes is a task. To work out the bias, you might find it a bit of a task. And on those days where it's so extended to the left, on the 5 and 15, I just recommend extending them all the way to the right. So if they are 5-minute gaps all the way to the right, I mean all the way to the left on the screen, instead of always going over double checking if the bias is changing or inverse, just have those gaps permanently marked out on price, and you know whether you're trading in them or not. Today's fine, we don't have to have any issues with that, but some days we are looking, say, 2 weeks prior at 5-minute bullish gap. So okay, so pretty obvious anyone who took longs wasn't valid. There was no sell side swept and also no shift on the yes. So obviously we have the 15 as bullish. The 5-minute is now bullish. The daily is bullish. So anyone who takes shorts on this area with a sweep of buy side is invalid. You wouldn't look for a short. Even though the model appears to present, this is not a valid short. Isn't the macro where like reversals most likely take place or what? No, I wouldn't say so, no. Price can take buy side, London highs, New York open low at any given point. I wouldn't say it only happens inside of a macro. But inside of macro there is a bigger inject of liquidity. So algorithmically, when the model presents inside of macro, it is more aggressively going to reprice inside of the macro rather than outside. That's why we look for entries inside of macro only. And YCCE said it to the T. So Jex, you passed those accounts, right? You said you passed them. What accounts did you pass? Let me see this. You thought they were glitched. Alright, so he was at 52,911. Yeah. So as of now, our bias would currently stand likely to be bullish, which would relook at the bias as we form some sort of model. We've swept minor sell side, which we would take this to be minor sell side, and prices seek some sort of discount from this lower time frame move higher. And I don't see why price wouldn't take these relative equal lows, which would be a preference. We would still look for longs regardless from this sweep of liquidity. This would be more of a preference to take the relative equal lows and then look for longs from that area. I think a lot of people around this time of year, they get very skeptical to whether they should monitor price or not. And I don't understand the concept. Price action's moving perfectly fine, still extremely volatile. And these are days that we don't just say we start in the new year. It's not, we're not basing this off how you feel. We're not starting fresh in the new year. We've not had a shit year. I've made $1.3 million in payouts. So the price action's perfectly fine. We shall monitor price. It is just a normal day. The reason why I didn't monitor last Friday is because it was a no news Friday, day after Christmas Day and day after bank holiday, which tends to be quite poor. But obviously for what you guys seen, it wasn't poor at all, and it produced a 5-hour day. When was my last payout? I took my last payout, actually, was in the end of October. Actually, no. It was around November. Early November time. I took the October P&L payout. Early November. And then December, I've ran my accounts into a greater P&L, which I'm eligible to take a payout at the moment, but I'm just going to run them slightly higher. What about you guys? So also, guys, we are the most transparent in the whole space, and of course we have a dedicated channel to our P&L. So you guys can see in the P&L section in the Discord, we have a channel called P&L. Where is it? Yearly P&L. And you can see what we closed out, what trades we took in October and November and December. And December's not currently updated, and it's going to be completely updated on the on the 31st. So the last day of this month, I'm going to update it completely and show you guys our results for November. I mean, we're currently up how much? Like 8R? No, we're up around like 4.5R. But the model's up 8R. We've got Rob with a payout. Lovely stuff. And trust me, I know Rob. He's going to be robbing the markets a lot more. He is. It's, you know, they didn't call him Rob if he wasn't going to rob the markets. Trust me. I know a robber when I see one. We got Dom the trader. Dom, how you doing, brother? I didn't see you in the streams over the end of December, I think. Towards, you know, Christmas Day. Milo, I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing for us. You deserve a huge thank you. Absolutely, brother. That's what we do. Okay, so as far as looking for longs here, we shifted on NQ. There is no valid shift in market structure on ES. So we're looking at step 3 right now, okay? We are currently sat on step 3. And remember, guys, when we are sat on step 3, things can escalate quite fast to us taking a position. And sometimes, just like you guys seen on that last position, that took us partly out at break even, and we hit a 2R. And that was... when was that? Like the 23rd. It was 2 days before Christmas, 2R. And we took that trade just straight. As soon as the 5-minute inverse, we were short. It caught me slightly off guard as well, but I knew the bias was going to shift. I went silent, and then I said, okay, this is our stop, 40 points, boom. 2R, new week opening, gap draw. We're on the 3rd step. There's no shift. ES can't shift. We wouldn't want it to shift above this high. It's not possible. There's no inverse bearish order block paired with the gap. So I always like to look ahead of myself to look at order blocks. So when price is shifting, I'm saying this would actually be a level that I would like price to shift through, because it does present an order block to be inversed. You see? That's potentially... no, that's not even an order block. As much as it looks like one, neither's this. It didn't engulf. That would be a bullish order block. Okay. This is a bullish order block. What's the current contract for TradingView? It's just NQH 2026. So it's likely a bearish 5. So it would be a bullish 5 still. It was partly bearish and it's met the draw. Still a bullish 15. Still a bearish hourly. Still bullish on the 4 hour, bullish on the daily. Bullish bias. So you can see from just price action is that we are entering more or less, price is still swept sell side, but more or less price is going to seek relative equal lows. It likely is going to seek relative equal lows. This is entering to more of an accumulation period rather than an overall sweep of liquidity. Still valid, sweep of sell side. So by all means, we do have a bullish bias. If price shifts above this short-term high, I will be interested in looking for a long, because this is a bearish order block. So if we do inverse this area and form a model, then I will be looking actively for longs. If that doesn't happen, then I can see us going to seek the relative equal lows. Okay, so as of now, we're failing to see a shift higher in market structure. We are still actively looking for a shift higher in market structure. Okay, so we got a bearish 5 and a bullish 15, a bearish hourly, a bullish on the 4-hour, bullish on the daily. So we got a bullish bias as it currently stands. We want to see if we get a shift in market structure here. We are leaning pretty close to the end of the macro, so do pay attention to that. If this candle closes up the possibility of having an imbalance, then there wouldn't be anything. But this is a bearish order block, which has now been inversed. So we have an inversed bearish order block. You can see there's no possibility of a gap on ES, so there wouldn't be any sort of model here. There is no gap on ES. So this macro is over. It's not possible to see the model. We'd wait for the lunch, which is at 11:45 to 12:15. So I'll speak to you guys inside of that window. Okay, so there's two scenarios really going into this lunch macro. We're either going to have a very eventful and interesting macro, or it's going to be very boring. So, as you guys can see, price has accumulated and ES has just created equal lows. I'm not satisfied, and I'm not calling that a sweep of sell side at all. Price is still in accumulation period on NQ. And then on ES, we've just tapped sell side to create equal lows. I want to see price trade through sell side and take it, and on NQ I want NQ to at least take this low at 679. So ES to take sell side, NQ to take this low. From that point, formed a bullish bias. We can then be looking for longs from that period. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So NQ is about to take that low, and it's just formed equal lows. Same again on ES, equal lows again. So it's taking its time. The likely scenario after an accumulation period is that we will get at least a 30 or 40 point move where price would just absolutely take sell side. But as of now, we haven't yet to see that. We've just been accumulating, which is good towards the lunch macro. Also at the same time, we do want to see price manipulate. So I'll keep you guys updated through this macro. As of now, there's no sweeper sell side, so I'm not interested in longs as of now. Okay, so just to inform you guys about the current situation for price, is that we're not interested in taking longs at all. There's no sweep of sell side. So ES, as you can see here, ES left equal lows and did not take the point of sell side. NQ is still in accumulation and did not take this point of this low here. So it's equal lows on NQ and equal lows on ES. We've not actually swept sell side. You can't take these short-term lows as points for that price has swept sell side. As far as the model for longs, it is presented. It has shifted on both assets, gap on both with an inversed order block, but it's not valid. And yes, it's paired with our bias, but the sweep of liquidity is not here. And we have not seen price actually take out a point of sell side after accumulating. We've just accumulated, and we're essentially just trading inside of accumulation still. So hopefully that makes sense. There's nothing here. I want to see price take sell side first. Yeah, so some of you are obviously jumping onto bias, which is fine. The reason why I didn't even look at bias, because it's so clear that we haven't even swept a point of sell side yet. So I'm not in a rush to do the bias. I'm assuming from the standpoint it was bullish, and whether it was neutral or not, I knew I wasn't going to take a position. So I'm still waiting for price to take sell side, and I mean, if we stay in this accumulation, then I'll be happy to not take a position. It's perfectly fine. And that would conclude the lunch macro here. So we either take sell side or we don't actually get a model. When are you trading this week? So that is posted in the AM prep channel. Let me forward it to the live stream because I think it got kind of lost in the chats a little bit. So if you scroll up on AM prep and then I forward it. Here you go. These are the days through the end of December and also the start of January that we are trading. Just finished a whole carton of chocolate milk. That's another 1,500 calories. I had 2,000 calories before the stream, which was a pizza. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. So that is the days we are and are not trading. You can see we're pretty much monitoring every single day of price. I had a Hawaiian pizza. But yeah, you can see through December we've not slacked off any days that we didn't trade. Obviously any days that we didn't trade we couldn't because it was bank holiday. It's just official days that we don't, and that's the days that we do. So basically working through this week we can see only the first day of 2026 we can't trade, which if I could I would, but it's a bank holiday. So you can see we've monitored price today on Monday, and so far you guys have seen the price action. It's been okay. There's no reason to complain. It just hasn't offered us any sort of model. And the lunch macro, as of what we see right now, this is not okay price action. The first two macros, price was moving, the price was trading, fine. But no model was presented. If you come to Italy, it's banned. What, pizzas? I do like myself a pizza, I'll tell you that. Oh, the Hawaiian one's banned. Is it actually? People don't eat Hawaiian pizzas. I've been to Italy before. I mean, I either have a pepperoni or Hawaiian. Not many people really like the Hawaiian. I don't know why I like it, but it's alright. Yeah, you can't have a Hawaiian without pineapple, otherwise it's not Hawaiian. I see Greg was typing. What are you saying? What are you saying, Greg? Yeah, to be honest, guys, if you're trying to put on some serious weight, then have yourself a large Domino's meat feast pizza. It's 3,000 calories. 3,000. If you have that plus bulk meals through the day, you've hit 6,000. It's unbelievable. And then a week later, you will die of a heart attack. It'll be all over just like that. But yeah, nothing as of now. Nothing as of now. In order for price to accelerate higher, I'm not saying it wouldn't now. It can very easily just trade higher. But in the majority case scenario, in order for price to trade aggressively higher, it needs to take substantial points of sell stops, which we haven't seen. ES traded to sell side and couldn't even take it by a tick. So we didn't sweep sell stops on ES. Yes, we took this low, which we are looking for a sweep on NQ of this low. That's an SMT, I understand that, that's okay. But we didn't take this low and we created equal lows, which is a point that ES will revisit likely through this New York session. And for NQ, we are still in this accumulation period. We've not even traded out of it and couldn't even take out this low, let alone this one. So I don't see a sweep of sell side. Yes, we do class 1 minute lows like this usually as a sweep of sell side. However, this is an accumulation period that's been going on for about an hour, and we want to see price aggressively manipulate, which we didn't see, which is concerning, which shows you that price didn't actually manipulate. Trust me, price will manipulate. You will see it. It will manipulate. And when it does, it will be a very aggressive manipulation. And what you can actually expect, so as we start to trade the PM session, we are currently in New York lunch, just entering the New York lunch in a minute. And when we enter the New York lunch, what does price do in the New York lunch? Are you guys educated on what price usually does in the New York lunch? Do you know? What does it do? What does it seek? Well, I've given it away, but what does it do? It seeks liquidity. It seeks buy stops and sell stops. So usually what we would create in lunch, well, we always create in lunch, is a lunch low and a lunch high. And we use the lunch session from 12 to 1 p.m. to mark out lunch highs and lunch lows. And what you will find inside of this period of lunch, which starts in 20 seconds, from here to 1 p.m, price usually seeks, during the New York lunch, stops from the New York AM. That's what happens. So those of you that have watched the 2022 mentorship, I know you have. I've personally watched it 5 times and still remember it to this day. But during, and I've traded the PM session countless times over and over and over and over again. And I've repeated this same process. And during the New York lunch, price will always look, well, not always, but more times than not, seek buy stops and sell stops from the previous move in the AM. And it will create a lunch low and high. And we use those areas. Not always you're going to have a clean lunch low and high. But as far as what I can see here, we will create a clean lunch low or a lunch high. And then into the PM session this evening, you would then look to either target or sweep the lunch low or high. So it's either a point of liquidity that is swept for your trade to present, or it's an overall draw, if that makes sense. So that's the ideal opportunity in the PM session, if you guys didn't know. That's how we do trade the PM. As far as London, you can mark out Asia highs, Asia lows. We do use those points for London. And we also can use the previous day high, previous day low. Also, usually the new week the new day opening gap, in fact, is something we do look at because it's relatively recent. So we can either trade into the new day, etc. And just marking out, as usual, on the 15-minute. It's going to be very interesting. I look forward to it. We are not trading the PM today, no. But you guys can, by all means, monitor the PM, say on a demo account. Obviously, don't trade live funds as of now, and just to get more experience by monitoring the PM. If you have time to monitor the PM, then it's also a good experience to forward test. But it's at 1:45 PM. It's in an hour and 45 minutes. So 1:45 to 2:15 PM. So between this window that we're currently in, this hour window, very high chance, especially accumulating before lunch, is destined. It is destined. Are we going to get a model in this macro? Likely not. Likely not. Is anyone in the UK? Can I meet up, get some guidance on it? I think most people are leaving the UK, brother. I hope you are as well. But you are getting there, though. You are getting there, trust me. I remember when I first spoke to you about 1 week ago. You've definitely made improvements. You may not see it as of now because it's not reflected in the P&L. That's the issue with a lot of people when they're new. They've made so much progress, but they don't reflect it in a dollar amount P&L. So they think they've made nothing and no progress, and they're still at square one, but they're not. Too many nerds in Bali. There is. That's why I tell you guys. Bali's shit. It's full of these... I've not even been. It just doesn't appeal to me. You got two types of people over in this place in Bali. You got the soy boys, the low test soy boys who think they're high test. They're eating fake steaks probably, you know, produced by a chicken, and it looks like a steak. They are making probably 1,000 or 2,000 a month. They're basically homeless at that point. So they're basically homeless, right? And they're all content creators making videos about their day in the life in Bali on how shit it is. So Bali's not what it seems. It's very much sold by these the soy boys. Oh, and then the other type of person, apart from those people, you have the spiritual people in Bali who think they're connecting back with the world. Trust me, I've seen that as well. I had a friend who went to Bali. He told me all about it. And then you do have the Russian parties in Bali. Russian parties and clubs. But yeah, there's the spiritual people, and then you got the brokies who think they're on the path to getting money, but they're really not. So as I said, you know, you got Phuket, Pattaya, and Bangkok. I wouldn't touch anywhere else. When I say spiritual stuff, they're not religious. They're not reading the Bible. I'm not against that. I'm full for it. I read the Bible myself. I'm saying they're on a whole nother wavelength of bowls and putting their fingers around the top of bowls and humming on a beach type thing. So that's some crazy shit. One of my aunties does that shit, and I don't even speak to her. She'd text me, I don't text her. I think she's lost the plot. I don't understand people who do that stuff. It's mental. I had someone comment on my YouTube channel probably about 3 weeks ago actually, but he also... I made a reel, and it was just a video of my P&L. It was just a floating P&L of one of my monitors, right? And it was a quote from the Bible, from Matthew. It was like 16 something. And he commented and said, God isn't real, mate, or something like that. But for me personally, I've had too many personal encounters which would be undeniably life-changing. Like, I wouldn't be here right now. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And from that point onwards, I said I am fully dedicated to reading the Bible and improving my knowledge based on it. And I know a lot of people have a lot more knowledge, but you got to start somewhere, you know. It's like when fat people go to the gym, they think people are going to look at them, but everyone did start either skinny or fat. No one's starting like Ronnie Coleman. So it's the same, you know, the same with anything. When people have a skill, they have knowledge, or they have something which isn't of the norm, they've put work to get that. Maybe you guys have seen the same kind of encounters and the same coincidences. It's not even a coincidence at this point. Maybe you guys have had the same thing, but I've had unbelievable coincidences. And unbelievable, like, it's actually unbelievable. It's not even possible coincidences. So that's why I am personally, because I used to be an atheist. I used to say I don't believe in nothing. I'm just going to die. But then I had some mad shit happen. I can't actually say what it is, but it was like 5 years ago. It was mad. Yeah, it's looking like, as of now, guys, we're not actually going to get a position. Prices accumulated through this macro. Anyone who took a long, they didn't make nothing. You know, when there's opportunities, we're here to capitalize. But we're not here to capitalize on something that's not valid. So price didn't offer a model, as you guys know. We're going into manipulation. We're in the New York lunch. So it's likely going to be the end of the macro here. Holy shit. What was that? It sounded like someone just dropped a bomb. Did you guys hear that? That was mad. I'm hoping that was a firework. Alright, once it hits 12:12, we would call it a wrap up the New York session. That will be us done for Monday. Monday. Yeah, still no sweeper sell side. I'm not satisfied with a yes. How many times does ES want to touch this low? Unbelievable. There you go. And that's not it, trust me. That is not it. It'll be off. I'd expect NQ to actually take relative equal lows. Now ES has taken sell side. But that's going to be us done for the lunch macro, guys. That does conclude this session. It's not actually possible around this area here for us to get a model. It's been good speaking with you guys today. No positions. We'll monitor price tomorrow, Tuesday. And that's it. You think I should try pass some more Apex accounts today when we get off, or just wait for the New York Open tomorrow? Apex accounts, I would actually wait until the 13th. For those of you that are holding Apex accounts, I would wait until the 13th. We got CPI. I would bracket CPI and do a 20-point bracket out of CPI. That's what I would personally do, and that would pass your Apex accounts. That's what I personally do. That would be my advice. So yeah, you can try the New York Open tomorrow. It's up to you. But if you want actually something that is going to give you more of a higher chance, I'd bracket order CPI. It's only in 10 days, 13 days. Alright. I'll speak to you guys shortly. It'll be tomorrow at 9:20 AM. Have a good evening.